Hello, good day to all of you. Welcome you all for our webinar today, that's boosting your immunity with our food. We thank Malika for being gracious enough to give us this webinar. I am Andal Balu from InnoConcepts. InnoConcepts is a company based in Atlanta, Georgia, in USA. We have been in business from 1992, and then we have been doing a lot of things. We are like our company name suggests. We are always for innovation. InnoConcepts is for innovative concepts. Shortly, we call it InnoConcepts. We were the first one to introduce Indian wet grinders to USA, the Canada with the warranty and service. And we over the years we had about 12 service centers all over the US. So people don't have to ship it to us. They can take it to the nearest service center, get the unit serviced even after the warranty is over. And then in 2008, when the recession happened, unfortunately, most of our distributors had to close the shop. So we went just only online. And now, with the 2020 pandemic, we wanted to change our course. So not just giving machines to make your food, we want to make sure that you're eating the healthy food, you're eating the food that helps you in a lot of ways. So we started giving webinars. So first webinar was given by again Miss Malika. She gave us how to make the good idlis, because in New York, because of the weather and also the ingredients available, we always have the problem how to make idlis. So that was very well received. So we thought this one will be, we wanted to bring her back for another session. This time she's going to talk about how immunity building. So we thank you all for being here. And our objective is, Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. May where the actions of me, in some way contribute to the health and wellness and peace in the whole world. All of you stay safe and healthy. And now I hand over it to Teresa.
So next, what I would like to do is I would like to ask our guest a question. And my question is, you're going to be speaking about boosting immunity through food. My question is your knowledge on that subject based on what was passed down from generation to generation, or is it something that you sought out through reading books, or how did you acquire this knowledge? I know you're very knowledgeable because we've spoken before, so I'm curious, how did you acquire this knowledge?
Thank you, Teresa. It is all just by reading or by practical experience and whatever our ancestors have given. It's something like, knowledge. I'm not a lover of social media. I rarely use my mobile phone only. So I read books, and I studied home science, where we studied nutrition and dietetics and other bacteriology, physiology, and all those things, some basics. So I was able to understand a little better than others, those who haven't studied about that. That's it.
Wonderful, thank you. Well, with that, I will turn the presentation over to you. I'm excited to learn.
Thanks a lot. Anyway, I'm very happy to be part of InnoConcepts, because long before, that is around the year 2000, I visited US just because of Andal InnoConcepts. We did the demonstrations in many. I showed many recipes using the grinder and mixie. So that's how we were in touch. Even now, we have lots of contacts. Common, we are having common interests. So I feel very happy to be part of this. And of course, my English may not be that much, pure like you all. Anyhow, whatever I know, I'm very much interested to share all those things. See, in India, we have our ancestors have given lots of good things for us, especially Ayurveda, Siddha, and all those Indian traditional, we call it as medicine, but there are lots of, good things, good concepts as come through generations from our ancestors. The more of that not in the theory form, but in a song or something like that, and it is passed by the generations. In that, when what they have divided is our body, they divided into 3 types, and each type we have to avoid certain foods. That is what they have given. But there are some foods which balances all the 3 doshas. That is nearly or 7 or 8. In that topmost is turmeric powder. I think all over the world, everybody know about turmeric now, because in immune boosting, it comes first. Nowadays, because of the curcumin content and so many other benefits in the turmeric. And we have ginger root, which is again helps in boosting our immunity and helps in digesting our food properly. And pepper, all over the world, everybody uses pepper, and it has lots of medicinal value. We have black pepper and white pepper, and we have another tail pepper. Everything is good for us. And we have cumin seeds. Cumin seeds, again, it is really helpful. It has very high antioxidant value. And not only that, in balancing these 3 doshas, that is also helpful. And again, dry ginger. We use dry ginger in many of our what we call it as concoctions or kashayam, what we call it as. Again, the dry ginger helps a lot. Even we use fresh ginger, dry ginger also helps a lot. So there are all these ingredients which may need very little, but it helps our boosting our immune system. See, nowadays, because of this pandemic, what happens, when we catch a cold, everybody is scared that whether it may be due to COVID or any other microorganism, harmful microorganism, and everybody is scared. So what we do is we generally prepare some concoctions, that is home remedies. When we prepare these concoctions, again, it helps not to increase the microorganism, that is harmful microorganism in our body. Before going to a doctor, before taking a treatment, it helps a lot. Okay, first few days when you get a cold, when you do all these things, when we prepare something, concoctions like this, see, we use so many things. I want to share a few, because our food, we have gooseberry, Indian gooseberry, which is very rich in vitamin C. We use gooseberry, we use mint leaves. Again, the mint leaves is very good for our cold and cough. And lemon, along with, the lemon skin only we cut and then add it. And ginger, again, that root ginger, that also helps in preparing these concoctions. There are basil, that sweet basil, again we use. There are so many combinations we give, and we prepare these home remedies, which is really helpful in boosting our immunity. Not only boosting our immunity, when you catch a cold or cough, when you prepare a concoction like this, and when you drink it very hot, little by little, that is at least by 100 ml, our throat congestion goes, and really it helps. So practically, I have seen lots of, this type of food, which is helpful. I want to share a few. For example, cabbage. Cabbage is very good because of not only its vitamin C. When you catch a cold or cough, what you have to do is finely chop the cabbage, add a little salt and pepper, and munch it very slowly. And then, when you eat that very slowly, you see the throat congestion, it actually goes off within a short period. And you can even prepare a cabbage soup, not a rich soup, just chop the cabbage finely, add enough water, add little turmeric powder, and then boil it for some time, strain it, add salt and pepper, and drink it hot. And you can drink it along with the vegetable also. But for children, you can strain and give that cabbage water, which really helps in reducing the cold. And again, whenever anybody talk about immunity, what they tell is about vitamin C. You all know about vitamin C, how it is important in building our immunity. But vitamin C rich foods, many people, they don't know, what all contains vitamin C, except they think only lemon, orange, and citrus fruits only people will say. But there are so many other food which contains vitamin C. For example, coriander leaves, that is again mint leaves. All those things are very rich in vitamin C. There is moringa leaves. Moringa, of course, if we can use sprouts every day, moong sprouts, that is green gram, whole green gram, you have to soak it overnight. Next day morning, you strain the water. You allow that to sprout by keeping in a container and close with a lid, which has little holes. In another one day, you will get that small, sprouts will come, and it is very rich in protein. And the sprouts, when it sprouts, the vitamin C increases tremendously. And when you use that in your salad along with capsicum and that is generally I use pomegranate. I use capsicum, pomegranate, cucumber, along with this little bit of peanuts with salt and pepper. It tastes very good. And generally we don't add lots of oil or anything as a salad dressing. We use very little oil, and sometimes I use raw mango when I have, and lemon juice. That base is always very much good in increasing vitamin C. Moreover, vitamin C has a very major role in immunity. I think everybody know about that. An Indian gooseberry is the richest source of vitamin C. We can try to use the maximum possible. And apart from citrus fruits, we have papaya, pineapple, muskmelon, pears, guava, whatnot. We have lots of strawberry, blueberries, raspberry. All those things have vitamin C. What we should do is every day we should try to get something which gives vitamin C for us. We should, all of us, should try to get it every day. Even when the children are very small, we should try to encourage them to have more vitamin C. Otherwise, it's very difficult for our body to, cope up with so many other things. And nowadays, we talk the role of zinc also. So what zinc does? Of course, everybody started taking zinc as a supplement only now. Generally, zinc is available abundantly in our all our foods. All these years, they never thought of giving zinc as a supplement. But only now, very recently, because of the pandemic situation and the virus, which is, what we are facing now, it is very, very difficult unless your immune system is good or something like that, So the role of zinc is, it plays a very important role in our immune system. So for cell division, cell growth, wound healing, and breaking down of carbohydrate, for all these things, the role of zinc is very, very important. And we generally get it in all our millets, that we have lots of millets, which is available easily nowadays, and whole legumes. I think whole legume means you all know about green peas and other, we have lots of varieties of legumes and pulses and dals. We have tuar dal, Bengal gram dal, and lots of pulses and legumes. Even though we are vegetarians, we eat lots of pulses and legumes to get protein. Not only protein, it gives lots of minerals and many vitamins also. And I would like to suggest some more food which is good in zinc, which is rich in zinc. Almonds, cashew nuts, gingerly seeds, that is sesame seeds, groundnut, walnut, coriander, that is what we call it as dhania, dry coriander seeds. And again, cumin seeds, pepper, poppy seeds, turmeric, fenugreek, and mustard. Generally, we need 8 milligram only for us. Women, 11 milligram is the daily requirement according to our Indian standard. So all these things are very much important, but I would like to add on to certain things about gut health. Now, lots of studies are going on about gut health, and we all know what is gut health. We should know what is gut health. I would like to add on to this by talking about probiotics also. What is probiotics? First we should know that, then we'll go to gut health. We have naturally lots of probiotic foods in India because we use a combination of cereal and pulse. We soak it, we grind it, we allow that to ferment and use it like idli, dosa, and lots of varieties we have. So during fermentation, what happens is the Fenry microorganisms increases tremendously in that food, okay, in that batter. And then we use it for cooking. It will have very minimum cooking so that all these friendly bacteria will be helpful. So what does this bacteria to us? When you have a gut bacteria, there are lots of bacteria, friendly bacteria and harmful bacteria both enters, and friendly bacteria will be in the gut. What will happen when that harmful bacteria enters into our body? It will help, that is this friendly bacteria will prevent that not to grow more. That is the main thing. See, it will not destroy, but it will not allow that to increase. That is how it functions. That's where the gut health comes. And we should have a proper bowel practice. We all know that is the main this thing to remove toxins from our body. From childhood, we should make the children to eat properly, to have the proper bowel movements, and that makes a lot of difference in our health. Okay, not only bowel movements. And when we insist on certain things to our children, they should follow, and as parents we should try to see whether they are brushing their teeth properly mornings and night before going to sleep, whether after eating they are washing their hands and rinsing their mouth properly. All those things matters a lot. It's not only for us, the children are very important, and from childhood we have to make them understand lots of things. Otherwise, it's very difficult in this world nowadays, to come out of certain ailments what we are getting. Generally, what other things will be helpful for the gut health? Again, the sprouts. Sprouting, it increases the friendly microorganisms also. And we have to eat it very slowly. You have to munch and then eat it very slowly. Then the digestion happens nicely. And high fiber foods. There are two types of fiber. Generally, we call it as soluble and insoluble fiber. The soluble fiber means whichever has some gums and gels. That is like fenugreek. When you soak it, it will be little gummy. There are lots of gel-like things which expands. Which is having, whatever food is having like a gum and a gel, it has soluble fiber. So even when the dal, with what we use, urad dal, what we use for our idlis, it has that quality. And lots of other whole legumes again has this, soluble fiber and insoluble fiber. And insoluble fiber we get from our vegetables. We know from greens to carrot to all the vegetables, almost it will have different percentage of fiber, that is cellulose, that forms the bulk of the main food. When you eat 2 times, that is when you divide your food into 3 parts, 2 parts, 2/3 should be of alkaline by nature, that is fruits and vegetables, and 1/3 should be the acidic part, that is again cereals, pulses or legumes or whatever it is. The acidic alkali balance is very, very important. Because of that, lots of problems comes those who are not balancing that properly, because excess acid also is not good for us. Okay, and again, apart from fruits and vegetables, whole legumes, we can take lots of nuts if you are able to, balance on everything. There is like walnuts, almonds, so many other nuts we have, no, that can be taken every day. Chia seeds, flax seeds, garden cress seeds. All these things really helps a lot in boosting our immunity. Spirulina, I would like to mention this spirulina also. What we call it as spirulina is a green algae in the powder form. Generally, people don't like it, but we call it as a green blood or something like that. You can use it along with your juice. You can mix spirulina powder with your juice and then you can drink. There are lots of ways of preparing spirulina. When you take spirulina, again, your iron increases properly. That is, anemia will not be there. It has lots of oxygen taking capacity. Okay, just because of that oxygen taking capacity it will do good for us. There are lots of other foods which again will increase that oxygen content what we need. It's like antioxidant is again we need lots of antioxidant foods, but we have to concentrate on our regular practice of so many things. Timely eating your food timely and munching it slowly. Once when your saliva gets mixed with your food, and when you eat it very, very slowly, the carbohydrate digestion takes place properly. And when it enters, whatever we are eating, when it enters to our stomach, again the hydrochloric acid there, it secretes, especially protein is digested in hydrochloric acid. Everything when goes to small intestine, the villi, it absorbs all the nutrients and gives to our blood. And what happens when you eat lots of fiber foods, when you excess fiber also is not good. And when you munch it very fast, certain nutrients may not be absorbed into our system. We have to take it, at least some 40 grams a day fiber is suggested, 40 to 50 grams, not more than that. Many people, they eat lots of fiber food just for the diet, for weight loss diet or something like that. But again, we suggest that is, it should be in a limited way. Okay. Apart from this, I would like to tell about hindering factors of certain things. In India, we generally take lots of coffee and tea, especially along with milk. They mix it. Many people, they started taking black tea, black coffee also. When you take a breakfast and immediately after breakfast, when you have a coffee or tea, what will happen? That's what everybody should try to understand. Certain nutrients will not be absorbed into our bloodstream. It is a hindering factor. It hinders the absorption, especially iron and certain B complex vitamins like thiamine. Excess fat. Always when you eat lots of deep fried foods or excess of cakes, cookies, and whatever is very rich in fat, again that is a hindering factor in absorbing lots of nutrients, and because of that our immunity again reduces. Apart from this, other things what we should know is excess fat, excess sugar, eating sweets. Lots of people just love to eat lots of sweets, but again when you eat lots of sweets which is along with made with white sugar, that also becomes a hindering factor. And pollution, we all know how pollution by air, we get lots of carbon dioxide and other things nowadays. Of course they take care of so many things, but even then a pollution is pollution. In India we see lots of air pollution is there. And our habits, personal hygiene, cleanliness, and everybody know that is how important. Now they tell all over the world how to prevent other microorganisms entering into us by way of cleanliness. Eating from others' plates, hugging each other, and when we speak, we have to maintain a distance. Of course, we all use a mask nowadays, but before that we were not supposed to. We didn't have all those things, And in India, we had lots of systems when our ancestors followed. Even now, in when I lived in joint family, we used to have a separate plate for each and everyone. Their name will be on top of that. We use stainless steel plate, and each one should take only that plate. Not they are not allowed to take the other's plate. And at the same time, we have a separate tumbler to drink water, a separate cup, whatever it is. We will not take from others. So all those things are gone nowadays. But it's always the olden things are. They have lots of good thing in that. And another thing which I would like to mention here is not only food, we need exercise, we need lots of fresh air, we need our sunshine, sun should fall on us to get vitamin D again, because again vitamin D3 deficiency is becoming a very big issue nowadays. Lots of people are getting, because of the D3 deficiency, calcium is not absorbed. It's all interlinked, even vitamin C is necessary for the calcium to absorb, and iron, for iron absorption, we need vitamin C. It's all interlinked. Lots of nutrients should be, taken in the right quantity. Then the absorption will be better. Again, stress, anger, depression, all those things, it will affect your immunity. Hope you all know about this, but even then I would like to mention. Okay, so immune boosting foods I covered, immunity reducing foods I think I covered. Again, cigarette smoking and drinking alcohol. Of course, coffee, tea, I told. All these things, everybody drinking, alcohol will reduce your immunity. Drinking, taking cigarettes, again, it will reduce your immunity. And many more, malpractices which you have, that should be avoided. We should take, enough nutrients, like balanced diet is very much important. Always we say, for a lay person, those who doesn't know anything about balanced diet, because we say to select fruits and vegetables color wise. Every day we should take from different colors so that you will get all the nutrients. And another thing is greens. That is, we have lots of greens in India. Again, that helps a lot in giving us protein, fiber, and vitamin A, calcium, and all those things. Apart from all these things, we have our own spices. Like in our, we have a masala box in our house. We have 2 masala boxes. One with mustard, fenugreek, some like urad dal, Bengal gram dal, and pepper, cumin, and all those things will be in one box. And another box we will be having garam masala spices like bay leaf, cinnamon, like cloves, and all those things. So all plays an important role in our cooking, but it has a role in boosting our immunity also. See, when we read a lot about that cinnamon and other things, when we use cinnamon powder with little honey, you mix it and then chew it. Again, you are cold or cough, it reduces tremendously. I think these are all home remedies. Many people know in India, even a pepper powder, we consume it like that. Along with honey, we take little, by chewing it, very little by little we have to take. Again, that reduces our cold and cough. So boosting immunity is one side. Another thing, the reducing stress and how we take the life stress-free. See, everybody has stress. Nobody is without stress. But how we take the stress, that is what more important. Generally, many people will be thinking about the past, what all happened to them, what all they spoke, somebody spoke or something like that, and they keep it in their mind. Because of that, again, their immunity goes down. So we have to release our stress then and there, and you have to forget and keep going. That is another important thing. And about power of positive thinking, we have to be positive. When you are positive, you will have some positive vibrations around you. I would like to mention one experiment which I very recently, 1 year before I read it. One Japanese scientist, Emoto, he kept water in different containers, and he wrote and kept like love, hatred, anger, and a different this thing on top of the water. After 1 or 2 days, he crystallized and then saw that experiment is there in this thing you can see. What happens when it is written as love, a flower-like thing is shown, when they crystallize. When it comes to anger and hatred, it's completely different. So because of that small experiment, he showed how important it is. Even when they write and keep the water sensors, when your body is containing 80% of water, what will happen to that when you are always angry, when you are hating somebody, the negative qualities, what we get, many people are having that negative qualities, again, your body will be stressed because of that. But when you are positive, when you think positive, when you are helpful to some people, many people, when you are not very selfish, all those things helps a lot in building our immunity. So always we should try to give equal importance to food, exercise, and again walking, that the sunlight and air, all those things are important. We are not supposed to sit inside a room all the time. Nowadays children also, they are watching television and they are with their mobile phones, always iPad and all those things. It again hinders their lots of things. They should try to go out, play, exercise, swimming, and lots of other activities are very much important to release our toxins from our body. And again, rejuvenation, we need only foods too for rejuvenation. When you give equal importance to all these things, I think everybody will be able to balance on whatever situation. When you get any harmful microorganism enter into our body will fight, and you will be able to come out when you think positive and give more importance. And when it is in the very little stage itself, we have to consult a physician also. That is also important, because generally people think what is there, we have to keep going. We don't know what doctor will say like that and all. Everybody think it is not so. But when you eat balanced food, when you get enough nutrients and minerals, that especially vitamins and minerals, generally your immunity will be very high, and you will be able to come out of whatever situation, whatever ailments you get. Especially disorders and diseases, both are important. Diseases means when any other external microorganism, that is harmful microorganism, when it enters your body, our body has to fight against it. And disorder, that is how diseases comes. Disorder means whatever functions inside our body, when it is not functioning properly, like diabetes, when your pancreas are not secreting properly, and some people will be having a liver problem, and many will be having heart problem, some will be having kidney problem. All those things are, our bodily functions which is not done properly, disorders. That disorder is also because of our lifestyle only we get. And proper food, proper lifestyle. When you balance on everything, both diseases and disorders will be able to come out of it. And anti-aging is very important. And when you are positive, anti-aging happens. And when you eat lots of vitamins and minerals, again, anti-aging happens. And you have to take care of yourself, and you start loving yourself. Every day you see in front of your mirror and you say that you are loving yourself. When you love yourself, you will be having that positive vibrations. And I think that also helps a lot. And these are the things which I follow even now. And I would like to thank Mrs. Andal Balu and Teresa InnoConcepts for giving me an opportunity to talk with you all. Thank you. You can ask your questions.
Thank you so much. Would you like to try and turn your camera on and see if we can see and hear you? Seems like a good opportunity to test that out. I have lots of questions. One of my questions I have is, how do I know what dosha I am?
Yeah, there are lots of questionnaire. If you want, I will send you. When you answer to that question, you will know which type of body is that. There are combined body also, ma. Three dosha means there are vata and pitta kapha, vata pitta body or pitta kapha body, like that combination will be there. And that questionnaire I will send you. You just answer to all those things, then you will know what type of body is yours. Okay.
Aha. And then once I have that information, that will guide me in what type of diet I need to support that information.
Yeah, I will send you that. Okay.
Okay.
One Dr. Deepak Chopra has written a book. Yeah, if you read that book, you will know all those things. There are lots of lovely books available there.
Sure. Mrs. Balu.
Yeah, for the benefit of all the attendees, Malika, will you be able to send the questions? We can send it to all the people and then they can find themselves. So not just Teresa.
Okay.
No, we can make it available for the participants of the, who are registered for this webinar.
Okay, I'll send you. Okay.
Yeah, if you send it,
I will take that page.
Yeah, if you send it to us, we'll share it when we share the link. We can share the link to the video and that link as well. In the beginning, you talked about a combination of gooseberry, mint leaves, lemon skin, ginger, and basil. Did you mean holy basil? Holy?
No, it is not holy basil.
Sweet basil.
Yeah,
No,
sweet basil.
It's just sweet
even
basil.
Holy basil can be used. Teresa, holy basil also can be used equally. Both you can use sweet basil and holy basil. Both can be used.
And do you grind those things up and have that as a paste, or you make a tea from that?
No, it is not like that. See, first we have to take water in a vessel. Like for 1.5 cups of water, you take half lemon, squeeze the juice and keep, and cut it into pieces, small pieces, and add it in that water. and then half a teaspoon of turmeric powder, and 1-inch piece of ginger, and again a little pepper powder, and boil it for some time. And if you are adding mint leaves, you can add mint leaves. If you are having basil, you can add basil. Whatever, any combination you can use, and boil it for some time. That is, at least for a few minutes you have to boil, and then strain the water. Generally, I add lemon juice after switching off the stove. Okay, then we get the total full of vitamin C. If you want, you can add very little salt also, and drink this concoction. You can have different combinations each day. These are all the main basic things. You can have even a handful of mint leaves with pepper and turmeric also is enough, and ginger and gooseberry along with turmeric powder and pepper, that is also good. Like that, you can give different combinations each day so that it will not be boring. Again, lemon and ginger along with turmeric powder and pepper. So pepper is a must in everything. Okay, and turmeric powder is must in everything. But other things you can combine with whatever you are having in the house. And when you boil it, you have to boil it for some time and strain the water and drink it very hot. 100 ml is more than enough. You have to drink it slow and steady, so that that throat becomes very soothing. That especially when you catch a cold, you will have irritation near the throat, so that irritation will go. And then again, breathing exercises, which are very, very important, which I am doing from the past 2 years. If you want, I will just show that. Can I show that breathing exercise, what I am doing every day?
Yes, please.
Can I tell? Okay. See, when we have sinus all over our eyes and this thing, this breathing exercise helps. For that, what we have to do is first bend down. From here, you start taking the breathe in like that, and fast. You have to breathe out. You have to do breathe in like this. Very fast. You have to breathe it out. And what happens? All the when you breathe in and take lots of oxygen, and when breathe out very fast, the cold or whatever it is inside this air sacs, it will try to come out through your nose or through your mouth. And the second exercise is we do like Kapalabhati. I will just tell you. You have to close your one nostril like this, okay, and breathe in. Breathe out fast through other nostril, and you have to do the other side also like that. One side you just breathe in fast, you have to breathe out outside, and this side again. And this is another exercise. At minimum 20 times we have to do the first one, and this is the second one. A third one again is, you have to bend like this, breathe in fully, and but you have to your tongue should be outside like this, look, and when you breathe out fast, what happens again? All the phlegm which is collected, here in your lungs or wherever you have, even the toughest place, many people, they don't know how to bring it out. When you do like this, it comes out. At least minimum 15 to 20 times when we do all these things, which collects here, it comes out, and actually it collects here, it comes to your the top portion of the tongue, the upper part. And then when you spit it out, it goes. And we do generally gargling. After this, when you gargle yourself with salt and turmeric powder in very hot water, the bearable hot water, and you have to gargle yourself, add very little in your throat, and then you have to do like this, ha ha ha, and then spit it out. So again, whatever is collected here as a phlegm, it will come out, and it will come out like that. All the virus or bacteria, whatever harmful microorganisms are there, it will be, it will reduce completely. Okay, it will reduce gradually when you do it. It will not affect you. It will not go inside. That's it. So these three breathing exercises, when we do it regularly, we can avoid lots of things. Every day morning after brushing, or when you are taking bath, when you finish this, definitely it helps a lot. Especially during now, because of this virus, everybody is facing lots of problem. All those things definitely can be avoided. You have to boost your immune system through food. Another thing is breathing. Another thing is like these concoctions. Another, every day we can gargle. And another gargle is when you have garlic with the skin, is just just we do it. We will not use mixie. Just a pestle. Just you have to hit it once or twice and add it in the water, and along with turmeric powder, you boil it for some time, because again. Garlic has lots of virus, it will kill the virus. It has lots of good qualities. So again, when you gargle it, it helps a lot. We use garlic in many ways, especially we prepare rasam, what we call it as, and you all generally prepare soup. Here we make rasam, different types of rasam we make, tomato rasam, pepper rasam, lemon rasam, ginger rasam, and whatnot. We have lots of other mint rasam and so many other this thing. There we use basic is coriander seeds, cumin seeds, and pepper and red chilies. And apart from that, whatever mint means, we have to add mint and garlic. Like that, we have a different combination along with tamarind and salt. So that when we boil that, when we drink that rasam, again, it helps a lot in soothing our throat. And lots of other home remedies also I can suggest. See, gingerly oil. There is a method called it as oil pulling. Even Andal Balu madam is doing it regularly. When you do oil pulling early in the morning, pure gingerly oil, you have to take very little in your mouth and keep on, you have to push it this side and that side and keep on gargling for some time inside the mouth and then spit it out. All the harmful microorganism which is in your mouth, it entangles with that oil, and when you spit it out, it goes off. Okay, definitely that helps a lot in boosting our immunity also. So one is, to keep our body to fight against microorganism. Another thing is when it is entering in a very small level, how to completely, we have to make them not to grow a lot. Okay, that is another thing. Another thing, gargling, again, it helps. And again, breathing helps. Whatever is inside, which will come out. So all these things put together, definitely it will help a lot.
Yeah, I just want to add one more thing, because a lot of people are not familiar with gingerly oil. Gingerly oil is nothing but the sesame oil. Here it's sold
okay.
as oil.
Yeah, we call it the
Korean stores or Indian
sesame oil.
or Japanese
Yeah,
stores.
it's again pure sesame oil. I would like to add one more recipe to that. Whenever I have a severe cold, what I used to do, I chop garlic finely and use sesame oil, heat sesame oil and fry the garlic, and then add the cooked rice. It should become very hot, add pepper powder and salt. And when you eat that rice along with garlic and that sesame oil, that hot rice, again, when you are having a cold, it just goes inside. When you eat that, definitely your throat becomes better in a very short period. The sesame oil has lots of good qualities in it. And garlic also. There are lots of home remedies we have like this.
It's wonderful. I have another question about, you mentioned cabbage. So we have lots of different types of cabbage here. What do you mean, like a green cabbage or red cabbage?
No, not red cabbage. The regular green cabbage only. Okay.
Yeah.
Red cabbage, you can eat it like a salad because it has lots of vitamin C and other qualities. But generally we use this green cabbage, what we call it as white cabbage here. It will be little white and very light green. But that cabbage only, it has lots of vitamin C and antibacterial qualities it has. This was given by a yoga institute. And when my sister attended that yoga institute, they gave this, and I do cabbage steaming also. Generally, we use certain medicine for steam inhalation, When you chop cabbage, add it in the water, close with the lid and allow that to boil sometime in a reduced flame. And you bring it down, close yourself with we generally use a bed sheet or something like that, blanket, something like that, and remove the lid, lightly, and that cabbage, that steam will come out. And when you breathe that in, that steaming helps a lot in reducing the congestion, okay, especially throat congestion and nasal congestion. And one more thing, what we generally use is take the sesame oil in your hand when you are having a cold or something. When you feel the dryness in your nose, we take very little, using a clean hand. Okay, wash your hands with soap and then wipe it, and then use very little sesame oil. Just apply it inside your nostril. That reduces the dryness here. And when you just breathe in very lightly, and that the passage it clears, immediately it gets clears. Okay, these are all small things which we follow, because in India, we get generally lots of, this cold and cough is very, very common here. And now, because of this virus, I think all over the world, everybody is experiencing. Huh?
Yes. You also spoke about sprouting and sprouts. You mentioned the sprout, and I didn't note it down fast enough. Gringa, is that the sprout?
I think it's frozen a little bit. I think her bandwidth. But she said
Yeah, maybe.
green gram. It's actually moong dal, they call it. Okay.
Hello?
Got it. Yes, ma'am, you're back.
Yeah. I'm not able to
So
hear.
you sprout the moong.
Moong dal,
I was
sprout
asking
dal.
about sprouting, and Mrs. Balu stepped in and said it's the moon doll that you sprout.
Yeah. Green gram means moong dal. It's a whole, there's a green gram. You have to use that one. And again, I use fenugreek seeds also to sprout, and use that also in my salads, because it is bitter. That bitterness is very good. According to our Indian system, the 6 tastes are there. All the 6 tastes, when you give equal importance, especially the bitter and astringent, all the systems in your body will work properly. So I use fenugreek also for sprouting. For that, a little difference. Moong dal means you have to soak it overnight, and next day when you sprout, within 1 day you get sprouts. But fenugreek, because it's harder, you have to soak it for 24 hours, and it has soluble fiber. After soaking, you have to wash it 3-4 times and strain the water through a colander. Okay, you leave it or a strainer or something like that, soup strainer or something like that. You have to leave it out for some time for that to dry lightly. That is, the moisture shouldn't be more. Whatever is absorbed inside should be there. Then after 2-3 hours, without touching it with your hands, we put it in a vessel and then close it with a lid with enough gap, air space should be there. And another 48 hours, you get that fenugreek sprouts. So that fenugreek sprouts, when after sprouting, that bitterness reduces. Okay, the bitterness reduces, and then we can use it along with coconut. We use fresh coconut and sesame seeds, roasted sesame seeds, roasted flax seeds, and roasted peanuts, and almonds, cashews, and whatever nuts, walnuts you have, you can combine all those things along with this fenugreek seeds. You prepare a salad without any salt or pepper. Okay, only with these nuts, and then this fenugreek sprouts. It's very tasty and very helpful in so many things, especially for your brain power. It has lots of nuts, very rich in so many things, antioxidants, protein, and other things. It's really good for us. I eat every day. Yeah, 1 day moong dal sprouts, 1 day fenugreek sprouts. Every day I eat.
I just got one question following up on this fenugreek. When you soak it and drain the water, is it okay to drink the water, or you just throw the water?
You have to throw the water and wash it many times, because again, when it becomes sticky, you will find your end product will not be tasting good. Your little start smelling. Okay, and after soaking, you have to wash it many times, strain the water, and allow that to sprout. Then only your sprouts will be good.
Okay, yeah. Right now I have my fenugreek sprouts.
Fenugreek sprouts, huh? Wow. Okay. You are eating every day, is it?
I try to eat a little bit a day. One day I eat one, then I sprout it, and a couple of days I just put it in the fridge. Once it sprouts, it stays 2-3 days, so they don't have to sprout it every day.
Yeah, even I do like that only. We actually do more. Both the sprouts I'll have 2 containers. Once in a week, I keep, when it is over, I keep doing it, the sprouts. So it's actually a powerhouse of vitamins and minerals. And you sprout a whole legume or a cereal, it is a powerhouse of vitamins and minerals.
Wow. So I don't want to hog all the questions, but I don't see any questions in the chat and I don't see anyone's hand raised. So I'm going to ask about the spirulina. I know about spirulina. It's a green, beautiful green powder.
Yeah.
How much spirulina to the juice? How much spirulina, teaspoon, or how much spirulina do I add? And do I drink that every day?
Yeah, it's actually very little is enough. When you are drinking it as a tablet, you can drink 1 or 2. But when you are taking it along with food, there is a trick which I follow, whatever is in green color, it goes with that. Okay, for example, when I prepare a mint chutney, mint and coriander chutney, we prepare for our idli or dosa, along with that, when I add it at the end, just before eating, it blends very well. Okay, like that, I prepare whatever is in green color. When I add spirulina at the end, it blends well. And when you add it to something contrasting in color, see, for example, watermelon juice or any other thing which is red in color, when you add something green, it turns little brownish and it may not be, for looking also, it won't be good. Tasting also will not be good. So whatever is in green, what all I prepare with, green color, this thing, I use this, then it blends very well. Okay, but you can use in your sweet lime juice, all those things goes very well. Along with your soaked sabja seeds, you can add that. And then a little bit, just 2 pinches or 3 pinches is enough. Because when you add more, you won't be able to relish it. Because of the spirulina, it will have some smell, So many people will not like it. But along with this, it goes very well. You will not have that feel. And another thing I want to share is, when you are when to eat your salads. Okay, that is more important. Many people, along with their food, they start taking salads. And when something is raw, all the sprouts and other things, it gets digested very fast. Within 20 minutes, it enters our bloodstream itself. Okay, not more than 30 to 40 minutes. But when you eat cooked food, it takes longer time to digest. So the longer we cook, the deep fried foods take still more longer time to get digested. So we should give enough time, that is before having something cooked food, at least half an hour before when you eat a salad, or 2 hours before, or you can use it instead of some snacking in the evening, having a puff or cake, a pastry or a cake or cookies. You can have the salad in the evening, it's fine. It gets absorbed into the bloodstream better.
Okay, for me, just one last question. Will you write up some of these recipes that we can share? Some of these recipes?
Yeah, I have in my YouTube channel. I think I'll be able to share whatever is having in English subtitles. Otherwise, I will send you the recipe. If you want, I can write and send in English. No problem. I will type it and then send it to you. Huh?
Okay. I would love to open it up to the attendees to ask some questions or say hello. Yes, sorry, Mrs. Balu.
No, I just want to ask Malika, you can send the recipes in writing, but also you can give a link to the YouTube channel. So if they want to see how it looks, how you made it, so they can watch that too. So you can give the
yes, I will send. I will send.
like this YouTube video from this minute to this minute, this recipe, so that will help. You don't even have to.
Yeah, I have separately each and every dish separately. I have these concoctions also. I think I'll be able to send it to you. And salads also I'm having, and that are different types of rasams, which I think people will be able to drink like a soup. There are so many rasams which I have given. I think I'll be able to share it to you.
Okay.
I will share. Huh?
We have a question about acidity. Any tips on what to do for acidity?
What is this? Celery, yeah? I mean, I'm not able to get it.
I guess any tips on balancing the alkaline and the acid? Someone is
Okay,
asking,
acidic.
please share any tips on what to do for acidity.
Okay, for acidic alkali balance, you are telling. Okay, so generally for acidic and alkali balance, our body is made up of blood, we all know, and blood is alkaline by nature. So whatever we eat, even if it is acidic, the body, you know, when it after going through the stomach, when after digestion, when it goes to small intestine, everything is turned to alkaline, and then only our body gets absorbs into the bloodstream. So only the alkaline food gets absorbed easily. So generally our blood is alkaline by nature. What we have to do is we have to take more alkaline food. And what is alkaline food? As I said, lots of vegetables and fruits, everything is alkaline. Even though we call lemon is citric acid, but it gets alkaline ash only when it enters our body. Okay. Are you able to hear me? Sorry, I got a call, and because of that, sometimes we may not. Are you able to see
Hear
me?
you?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
So acidic foods means all the foods like the cereals. I think when you are taking bread, cereals, everything is acidic by nature. All the cereals, pulses, and legumes are acidic by nature. But we have to balance in such a way when you are cooking, you have to add lots of vegetables so that to balance that acidity, the vegetables will take care. And even by taking salads and juices and other things, again, that is alkaline, that helps a lot. Okay, we have to choose our food in such a way. We should try to eat more of vegetables, more of fruits, and other foods a little less. Okay, 1/3 acidic and 2/3 alkaline foods. That's how we have to balance. Then our body will not be that much acidic. Again, it's all the food that matters a lot. Whatever food we are taking and how we are eating. See, when you mix it everything with saliva, we have to munch it 30 or 40 times. Just see every day, notice every day how many times you are munching and eating. The base which is given by our ancestors is 30 to 40 times minimum you have to munch it in your mouth before swallowing, because the saliva, the secretion of saliva is very important. We have lots of foods of saliva secretion also. See, mango, and tamarind and all those things, the sour things, when you think about that itself, saliva will secrete. We have lots of our cooking systems, but when you eat it mixed with your saliva, carbohydrate digestion takes place 60% with the help of saliva, and there are lots of enzymes are produced. That is not very important. That enzymes, when we need lots of enzymes, that enzymes when enters our body, that is the main thing for production of hormones. So it's all interlinked. Enzymes are important for hormone producing, and enzymes will be secreted when you munch and eat your saliva. When you have especially the sprouts and all, it will have lots of friendly bacteria. Curds, it will have friendly bacteria. All those things put together along with saliva, when you eat, again your immunity increases, and the gut health happens. Your gut health is very, very important, because lots of this thing are compared nowadays by testing that gut, that bacteria, what gut bacteria we are having. Okay.
Yes.
See,
Anyone
I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm just a culinary this thing which whatever I read, whatever I'm interested in, just I'm sharing. That's all. Okay. Whatever
Yes,
I know.
thank you.
Very little what I know, I'm sharing. That's all.
Yes. I want to say to our attendees, don't be shy. If you have a question, we would love to hear from you. You can use the raise hand feature or put your question in the chat, and I will be happy to ask the question for you.
Okay, another thing I would like to share is drinking water. How much water is necessary? I think everybody know minimum is 8 tumblers. That is 6 to 8 tumblers of water we have to drink. 1 tumbler means 200 ml. What we mean is minimum 2 liters at least when we drink the liquids, our body system will work properly. When we sit inside the AC room, air conditioned room, generally we try to drink less water. And when you drink less water, toxins are not released properly from our body. So all the systems, excretory system should work properly, means we have to drink enough water. Because nowadays we don't allow our body to sweat a lot. When you play outside only, we sweat. When we sweat, lots of, toxins are released. And our excretory system should work properly. One is breathing. The lungs, when it is taking oxygen and when it is leaving carbon dioxide, again, the toxins are released. Another one is the proper bowel practices. Okay, all those things are very important. Another thing is breathing in fresh air. Like when there are lots of plants around you, when you get, see that oxygen, plants take in carbon dioxide and leave oxygen. We all take oxygen and leave carbon dioxide. So the God has given that balance. The nature has given balance. And where do you have that many trees nowadays? We gradually started demolishing trees, and we started, especially the increase in population. The demands are, have become lots of different, lots of, things are happening around us. Okay. If anybody is interested, they can ask in Tamil also, because when the lots of people are here in Tamil, they can ask. Okay.
I just put it in the chat. Don't be shy. You can talk in Telugu, Tamil, Kannada, and English.
No Kannada. Andal, no Kannada. I don't understand Kannada.
Okay, sorry. Okay, because I thought you wrote books in Kannada. Okay, so Tamil, Telugu, and English. So
okay, see, somebody has asked, how many, when to take the juices and other things. Okay. Actually, when you are, when you want to take juice or salads, cooked food, along with cooked food, I don't think we are supposed to take it. At least minimum half an hour before is important. Or if you are taking your breakfast around 9:30, you try to eat this salad around 8 o'clock or something like that. When you are having a coffee early in the morning, so give a gap after the coffee and give this salad or juice in between, and then drink, and then have your cooked food. So that is more important. Okay. And try to reduce coffee or tea as much as possible, but daily twice, it's okay, fine. But so many people are having a habit of eating less coffee every 1 hour. I have seen lots of people are doing that, and it will kill your appetite. It will not help for your nutrients to absorb inside you. So many things will happen. Okay, without realizing, we do lots of things, and everybody will say, okay, coffee has lots of goodness in that. You can take again all the lots of studies. It will confuse people. It is like that. And when to take, how to take, that is what more important.
Okay, so there is a question. Consuming green leafy vegetable juice and breakfast, do we have to keep a gap between the two?
Definitely, you should have. Yeah. But when you are taking only smoothie alone, it is fine. If you skip breakfast, you are taking a thick smoothie, drink it slowly, sip by sip, to get that complete fullness of it. Okay. Any smoothie. It can be a fruit smoothie, it can be a green smoothie, it can be a melon based, or fruits, the thicker fruits, or whatever you use, whatever it is. But you should give enough time to, it is not like drinking. You have to sip by sip. You eat what we call it as, we eat the juice. Okay. It should be like that. Slowly you have to drink it to get your nutrients absorbed better.
Okay, the next question is, somebody is asking about the fruits. Is it okay to take the fruits with cooked food like lunch, dinner, or should we take the fruits separately for good digestion?
Separately is better. Separately is better, because fruits gets digested very fast. It takes just 20 minutes. And again, timely food also, I want to give importance here, because many people I have seen, especially when you travel in the train, from the time we enter until we reach, they keep eating something or the other, whatever comes, like bonda, bhaji, or some sweet or something like that. But just imagine you are grinding something in your grinder. Okay, wet grinder, you are adding rice in the beginning. So when it is halfway through, when you are adding something else, what will happen? Again, it gets delayed. From the beginning, it has to grind that also, and then it gets delayed. Like that, when our digestion is happening, when we eat something, halfway it would have digested. And when you add something fresh, add to that, what will happen? Again, something chaos will happen inside your stomach. Okay, it has to start secreting something for that to, to break down that. So it will break down to smaller particles and smaller particles, and then only it gets digested and then it gets absorbed. So we have to give enough time in between eating. So when you are taking something around 10 o'clock till 1 o'clock, don't take anything in between. That is what I would like to suggest. Okay, at least minimum 3 hours, we should give our food to get digested properly. So many people, they don't have that habit. In between, it's just for the taste of the tongue they are taking. It's not for the hair. They should think it is what is necessary for our body and what is necessary for our taste buds. What we think we like, that is different, and what is necessary for our body is different. We have to live healthy means we have to have good practices. That's it. See, everybody at the end, we want to live healthy only, no? We have to be stress-free. And again, for the stress, what I'm doing, I wanted to share with you all. I don't know how far Indians will accept others and all, I don't know. See, we are all very much God-fearing, and we do take lots of interest in doing some puja or other things, our rituals we are having, whatever we follow from ancestors. But according to me, God or whatever we call it as Parabrahma, which is the nature or whatever it is, when we what we tell it as surrendership, they say. But here, when you think it is Ambal, or when you think it's Lakshmi, or whoever it is, your favorite God, and when you tell all your problems there, you just pour off everything to the God and just leave it. Okay, I have told everything to you, and again I'm leaving everything to you. We can't change anything. So whatever has happened has happened. Whatever is going to happen, it is going to happen. So why should we unnecessarily worry about that? I'm just leaving everything. So when you leave everything outside, when your stress goes out, again, that rejuvenation happens, and your body, that anti-aging happens, and you will be happy. That happiness will show in your face. And why unnecessarily we should bother ourselves, which we are not able to change, that is the method. That is how I do my prayers. I don't know how far people will accept, but that is how I do it. Just leave everything. Just, நம்ம தமிழ்ல சொல்லுவாங்க, மனசு என்ன குப்பை தொட்டியா அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு, இத குப்பை தொட்டி மாதிரி நம்ம மனசை வச்சுக்கிட்டாக்க, again, unwanted things only, kuppai totti means that waste paper basket where we throw everything, whatever we don't want, only in that. Then why should you have something which you don't want inside you? Just leave it out. See, our body has the way of bringing out the unwanted things outside. And why should we have in our mind unwanted things? That also we have to release it out. So when you are pure in your thoughts, when you are pure in your this thing, when you don't have unwanted things, again, you feel blessed, and you will be very happy. That happiness will show in your face. Why should we bother about lots of things which we are not able to change, So this is my concept. And just release it out, everything.
One more question. Which superfoods can we, give to the teenagers in the diet?
Okay, which? For teenagers?
The superfood. Now there is a concept of superfood, right? So we are introducing some new superfood. Like cocoa was a superfood. Then ginger, turmeric, they're all superfood in US now.
Yeah.
So they're asking for the teenagers.
Andal, I would like to ask that to you, because I know you are doing lots of things on cocoa, that especially the bitter part, the bitter cocoa, you are encouraging nowadays a lot. But in India, they don't have that concept at all. They don't even understand that concept. See, what a chocolate, what they are eating here, it has lots of fat in it, not that cocoa fat, okay? It has lots of other fat in it and other sugar in it, and they think that is good for health, and they are eating. It doesn't have the bitterness at all. So only the bitterness part you want to encourage them to eat. Because of the bitterness, what it will do good for us, we know. See, in our Indian food, we have lots of bitter foods. That bitter foods, generally people avoid. But when you give it in the cocoa form, chocolate form, I think they will love to eat this. So that is mainly that bitter part only. You should try to make them realize that is important, that is good for their health, and you can encourage them to eat. But not the other one. People, they just like that, they think the otherwise and they are doing. And again, nowadays, those who are health conscious, they started taking chia seeds, flax seeds, so many other things. That's sabja seeds, that is the basil seeds. We soak it in water, and when it expands again, it is the gel part. It is actually a protein only, but that protein is by alkaline, by nature. When you take it in along with your drink, when you soak sabja seeds or chia seeds and take sabja seeds, means we get soaked very fast. Chia seeds needs longer time, and along with your juice, when you are taking, again the gut health happens. It clears the total gut because of that fiber part and other things. Okay, and fruits, especially the fruit, we should take along with the fiber. That is best. But sometimes when you need more, you can have it in the juice form.
Okay. Yeah, somebody mentioned dark chocolate. So I just want to clarify them. What is the dark chocolate? Can I do that, Malika?
Andal, you are best about that. You can talk about chocolate more than me. Please, go ahead. I'll be happy to know.
Yeah. See, in India, people think dark chocolate is good, but still they don't read the ingredients. So, when you always try to recommend, whoever is watching this is, always read the package. Whatever you buy, it doesn't matter. Always there is the ingredient list. So look at the ingredient list because there are some dark chocolates. They claim dark chocolate, but if you look at the ingredient, first thing will have this sugar, then it'll say cocoa mass, and then all the other ingredients. So always the ingredients are listed in the most ingredients will be the first one and the least ingredients will be the last one. So if the sugar is the first one, even if it's a dark chocolate, it's not going to give any benefit. So make sure you should say cocoa beans or cocoa nibs and sugar. So the cocoa beans should be the first ingredient because the real dark chocolate is called a 2 ingredient or 3 ingredient chocolate. It will have only cocoa nibs, sugar, and maybe some lecithin in temperate countries like India and all the cocoa growing countries where it's a lot of humid and hot. They add lecithin so that the chocolate doesn't melt too fast. So make sure it has a lot of cocoa beans because cocoa beans has a lot of good nutrition, like lot of iron content, antioxidants, and feel good chemicals. That's why we crave chocolate. But if it has too much sugar, like Malika said, it inhibits the good part of the cocoa beans. That's why just there are some lot of people have started making healthy chocolate in India. So you can find out which ones. There are some examples I can give you. There is a Chitram chocolate in Coimbatore. There are some more people are coming up. So there are. Then I think there is one Mason and Co in Pondicherry, and like that. There are some chocolates. So you can look at the ingredient and buy it. Thank you.
Is it available everywhere on that? Or we have to get it from them directly? Is it available in stores or anywhere outside?
I don't know. Maybe you have to check their website. I'm not very
Yes.
familiar where it's available.
Okay. You just send me the link. I would like to check. I can tell to many people, those who are interested. Because here people, they don't understand many things about that. And they simply they tell the chocolate is good and the coffee, it is very good. They start eating more chocolate. And finally, the appetite, they don't have that appetite to eat other healthy food. So that when they are outside, they try to eat one or two chocolate and they think that is enough for them, and just they leave the rest of the good part of other nutrients. We have to get other nutrients, no, especially people who are working longer hours. They don't sleep properly, especially night sleep is very, very important nowadays due to people working from here when they are for uh, working for many other countries. Okay, they don't get proper sleep. They don't have that night sleep. They have to work during nights. And the serotonin, that is very, very important. Nowadays, they tell when you sleep, that serotonin secretes, and that is very good for us, especially for the immunity. When you sleep properly during night, again, all the functions in your body, the toxins releasing will happen, and your mind will be clear, and you can work properly. There are so many other things. The stress will be released. That proper sleep at the proper hour is very much important. That is also one of the main factor we should consider when you talk about immunity.
Yeah, one more clarification I want to make. In India, nowadays the homemade chocolate is getting very popular. But the
Yes.
homemade chocolate, sometimes they just buy the couverture from the big companies and then they melt it and add colorings. The other thing, Malika, maybe you should talk about food coloring.
Mm.
Because in India, we
Yes.
use too much food coloring. So maybe you can talk about, your experience with food coloring.
Yeah. Nowadays everybody started reducing food colors, but only in hotels they continue because they want to get a very good, color side dish. They use a little food color. There are so many other things, they use it. But as far as I see, in Indian homes, they try to reduce food coloring. But we don't know about what we buy. Like even chili powder, they say they are adding color to that. Even a turmeric powder, which is not pure, they are adding color to that. So there are lots of things happening around us, which there is no control by the government. Whatever they say, also they don't listen, and finally the people who are suffering from that is without realizing anything, they suffer because of excess food color is again not good for us. And nowadays people started going in for natural colors, like using beetroot juice to get little that pinkish color, and using carrot for this orange color, like that, using like coriander leaves, grind it and then add it to get little green color, like that. Many people started using like that, and lots of powders from natural food, like this, like uh, we are getting all those powders here. People started using that. Those who are very much conscious about all these things, they started using that. But anyhow, economically poor people, the lower income group, they don't have time to think about all these things. They just buy whatever is available in the shops, and which is of less price, and again they end up with lots of problems. But we can't help it. The awareness to them, to give it to them is very difficult, very difficult. About cleanliness also, to make them understand the lower economic group, it is very, very difficult. Anything else, ma?
Yeah, 1 second, I'm looking at. Yeah, somebody's asking the dark chocolate in US. They need, if they can send us an email, there are a lot of 300 to 500 chocolate companies in US. So if any of you are in US, send us the email. We can send you some local chocolate makers that they make in your area. So it's also easier for you to get it. And then somebody's from Trinidad Tobago. Yeah, see, in Trinidad Tobago, more and more people are making chocolate, getting into cocoa and chocolate production. So that dark chocolate is getting popular all over the world, and people are making healthier chocolates now. Thank you, Risha.
Mrs. Balu, we have a hand raised.
Oh, okay, let
I
them.
will.
Sure.
Okay, it's a Radisson. There you go. You can unmute yourself.
Radisson Photography. Yes, what's your question, sir?
మేడం చాలా బాగుంది మేడం, మీ ప్రోగ్రామ్ చాలా బాగుంది. Can I hear me?
చెప్పండి సార్.
ఇప్పుడు మామూలుగా మనం డిన్నర్ టైంలో ఫ్రూట్స్ తినవచ్చా? అది డిన్నర్ తర్వాత తినాలా, ఫ్రూట్స్ ముందుగా తినాలా? అదే మరి చాలా రోజు ఒక కన్ఫ్యూషన్ ఉంది. ఎందుకంటే ఫంక్షన్ అంతా చూసారంటే డిన్నర్ అయిన తర్వాత ఫుడ్ కోర్టుకు వస్తారు, ఆ ఫ్రూట్స్ అంతా అక్కడికి వస్తారు. సో
Ah.
మామూలుగా ఫస్ట్ ఫ్రూట్స్ తినాలనేసి చెప్తారు. అదే మీరు ఎట్లా చెప్తారు అనేసి?
ఎస్ సార్, డిన్నర్ లో వచ్చి వాళ్ళు పార్టీలో వచ్చి ఇన్స్టెడ్ ఆఫ్ డెసర్ట్ ఫ్రూట్స్ ఇచ్చేది ఇప్పుడు ఒక అలవాటు చేస్తూ ఉంటారు. దాంతో ఐస్ క్రీమ్
ఆ!
మాదిరి ఇస్తారు. బట్ జనరల్
అవునవును.
గా న్యూట్రిషన్ అని చెప్పేసి ఎత్తినామనంటాక డిన్నర్ తో తినేది ఇట్ ఈస్ నాట్ గుడ్. ఓకేనా? ఎయిదర్
ఓకే.
కొంచెం సేపు ముందుగానే తీసుకునేది బెటర్. బట్
ఆహా!
వన్స్ ఇన్ వైల్ ఈ మరి పార్టీస్ లో వచ్చి తప్పదు కాబట్టి మనం తీసుకోవచ్చును. బట్ ఇంట్లో తినేది వచ్చి
హుహు.
ఇట్స్ బెటర్.
హ్మ్.
ఈవినింగ్ స్నాకింగ్ వేరే ఏదైనా తినేదానికి భర్తీ మనం
ఆ!
ఫ్రూట్స్ తింటే
ఆ!
బెటర్. న్యూట్రిషనిస్ట్ చెప్తారు ఈవెన్ a diabetic person can have little fruit, that is around 30-35 grams in the
హ్మ్.
evening. Well, instead
ఓకే.
of having any other deep fried fruit, they can have one or
హ్మ్.
two different types
హుహు.
of fruit in the evening. So don't take it
ఓకే.
along with coffee. Give some time after the coffee and then take
ఓకే.
your
ఓకే.
fruit. That is the best
ఓకే.
time, sir. Morning
అంటే
also, uh, at least 1 hour before your breakfast is better. For absorption
ఆ!
part, I'm telling. Okay.
ఓకే. 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 థాంక్ యూ మేడం. చాలా బాగుండింది. చాలా బాగా చెప్పారు. ఒకసారి జాక్ ఫ్రూట్ కూడా ఎట్లా చేయాలని మీకు ఫోన్ చేసి అడిగారు చెప్పారు. థాంక్ యూ
Oh,
మేడం.
sorry, sir. Okay, sir.
థాంక్
Thank
యూ
you, sir.
మేడం. అందాల్ గారు థాంక్ యూ.
Thank you. Malika, you want to translate in English and say the answer in English also? I can.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Okay. I'd like to share that to everyone. He asked, when we go out for dinner, generally they serve fruits at the end, along with ice cream. They have cut fruits. A variety of fruits are kept, and ice cream is kept as a dessert. So how to take it, whether to take it in before the dinner or after the dinner, that's what he asked. But I said, when you are going out for a party or dinner or a marriage or wedding, you can't avoid having it before. You can't have it, as soon as you go, you can't have it and then spend some time and then go for your food. If possible, you can do that. Or at the once in a while when you take it, it's okay. But in the house, when you want to take a fruit, it's better to give enough time before taking a cooked food. For the absorption part only, I'm telling. Okay. See, even for a diabetic, fruits are allowed nowadays. When you are taking it alone, like a snack. Okay. Evenings, when you are taking a coffee, give enough time after your coffee. You take around 5 o'clock or something, 5:30, you can take a fruit. Don't take too much of fruit. That is also not good. Around 30 grams, 28 to 30 grams in a fruit. A fruit is okay. Every day you can have 3 to 5 different types of fruits at different timings. That is fine.
Okay. Somebody is asking the tips for the small children.
Small children, okay. Especially when the child at the time of birth, I'll just talk from that time. The mother's milk is very much important. Up to 6 months, the mother's milk should be given to boost their immunity. That is the best thing. And after that, we have that nutrient rich flour, what we call it as Satmavu. Generally, I see, I remember even the lactose allergy children were balanced, grown very well without having external food by using ragi. That is ragi, when they soak it and then grind it, that milk they will take and they boil that milk and give it to the children, those who are allergic to milk also. Our ancestors used to do that. And after some time, they started giving that sprouted ragi, that Satyamava nutrient rich flour. There is a way of doing it, especially that ragi. You have to, that is what we call it as little millet. Little millet, you have to soak it in water and allow that to, sprout. And then we do it, we have to dry it under shade for some time by spreading on a cloth or something. And then you have to dry roast it. That what we call it as malting. The process of dry roasting a sprout is called as malting. That's how that Maltova, Bonvita and all those things, they do the sprouting and then they malt it. When you malt it, you get a very good aroma from that. Again, that helps a lot in the digestion system, and it helps in secreting something which is in our saliva. The children will, when they chew it, they eat it, the digestion part takes care of taken care very well. And that ragi sprouts, along with that, they add certain ingredients like, roasted gram, almonds, and green gram roasted. That is moong dal, what you say, moong, and wheat. That is when you are using 1 kg of sprouted ragi, 200 grams of wheat, and 200 grams of whole green gram, which is roasted, and 50 grams of roasted gram, that is the chutney dal, and again a few almonds and everything, you know, when you, after roasting all those things, when you grind it to a powder and just keep it, use that to prepare a porridge for your child. That is the best way of giving all the nutrients to them. Okay, and that can be given after 6 months up to 1 year. There are different combinations. I have written a book for infants also, infant book, infant foods. Okay, what we can prepare from the house than buying from something from outside. And that is, it will have you know, all the nutrients in that, and easily in the digestible form. After that, you know, 2 to 4 years, that is a very, very crucial period. That is especially after 1 year, when the child start crawling up and start going to other places, when it touches all the places, again in the infection comes immediately because of the practices. The child doesn't know, and it will keep something in the mouth, and the hands will not be clean, and you can't keep cleaning it all the time. So best is boost their immunity through proper food. And the child's taste buds, you know, it develops in first 2 years of life, and all the taste should be given to the child within that period. Don't give too much of sweet things. And many people I have seen, they give options to the children. They don't eat one particular food, they try to give another, they try to give another, they try to give another. So the children, you know, they become very fussy and very choosy. They know very well, okay, when we don't eat, mommy will give that, mommy will give that. Like, so don't give options to the children. You just make them, you know, when they are hungry, we are not supposed to give anything else. They will come to us for the proper food. We should make them, you know, in such a way, within 2 years, they have to try all the tastes. After that, again, it's a very challenging part for the younger generation to give different kinds of foods to the children. You know, again, we select and give, like, you know, vegetables. Generally, people that many children, they don't like at that age, and to give them vegetable, it's a very difficult thing. We can give it as a soup or porridge or whatever it is, they refuse to eat. And along with food, when you want to give, you can just steam cook the carrot or beetroot or whatever it is, you puree it and try to add it to their like for chapati batter, when you are mixing, you can add that puree. So you give it a little color. And when you are adding, you know, preparing a dosa, instead of giving plain dosa, you grind the spinach and then mix it with that, and then you can pour like a green color dosa. Like that, you know, you start giving vegetables in such a way, indirectly it should go into them. That's how we have to include. It's very challenging nowadays. Children, you know, they refuse to eat, but it's all in the hands of mother.
Okay. And then foods to improve intestine health.
Yeah, foods to improve intestine health, that is very, very important, especially nowadays. I have seen lots of youngsters, especially school going children, 2 years, from 2.5 years itself, they start sending, you know, they don't give proper bowel practice, and they don't have patience, because from childhood we have to make them sit for some time. And when you work for that for 1 or 2 months or few months, that happens automatically. Immediately after getting up, you have to go. And we need proper fruits. When you give fruits, again, that bowel practice happens, you know, easy. It is very easy. And fiber food. Children may not like the fiber food, but whatever is in the fruit, that is enough. And you make them eat before, that is night. If they don't take anything properly, you tell them to eat. Some fruit should be given. And don't think they will go in the morning itself. But when they go to school, they try to, you know, control themselves because they don't want to use the toilet there. There are lots of difficulties nowadays the younger generation face. But it is all in your hands how to make them understand and how to give proper food, and then make them to go properly. Unless their intestines or small intestine, large intestines everything comes out, they will not feel hungry, they will not eat properly. So it's all vice versa. You have to make them, eat all the foods and give equal importance to all these practices. That is how it should be done.
So what's the best time to eat jackfruit?
Jackfruit. You love a jackfruit, is it? You're asking. See, jackfruit is very, very, very sweet in taste. When anybody is diabetes, we tell them not to try to avoid them. But it is like any other fruit, but it has lots of fiber in it. You can, when you go out, especially instead of having some other fried snack, you can eat a jackfruit, a few pieces of jackfruit along with honey. We generally eat jackfruit with honey. Hope you know why you eat with honey. Not only the taste. Again, what we call it as our mandam or whatever happens because of jackfruit, it gets balanced when you take honey with that. And when coming to the honey part, I would like to add on to something here. I read a very interesting book where, when they tested honey and they tested blood, when they saw the minerals, composition of minerals, both are equal. So our ancestors were very clever. They used to give their medicine, whatever churnam or whatever it is, they mix it with honey, then they will give, when you eat it little by little, when it gets into the bloodstream, it gets absorbed within 20 minutes and it goes to your blood directly. So because of it is having the same composition of this thing, it gets absorbed easily. That's how our Indian medicine was given to children, in the powder form. When they mix it with honey and give, it gets absorbed immediately into the bloodstream. Okay, so the honey has, because it's but we should know whether it is natural or some artificial sugar syrup is added. All those things we should know. If it is natural, it's really good for us. Honey has lots of flavors. In whichever flower it is taking the bees, that honey has that flavor. I have tasted even a bitter honey also in many places. When you see, when there is a coffee estate or tea estate, when you buy honey from there, it has that bitterness of that coffee. Okay, and when you have honey in some place where it has some other flowers, you get that flavor in that honey. Okay, so when it is natural, it has that, and different flavors will be coming. But nowadays the natural honey is very, very difficult to get. Even though they say it is natural, we don't know what all they mix. Okay, they look identical, or nature identical will be written in that.
Okay.
Who wants to see me?
No, this is, my granddaughter is on there in the webinar. She wants to know about smoothie. So I am sending a message to her to see if she wants to come on video and ask the question herself.
Oh, okay. So lots of smoothies you can prepare, no?
She wants to know smoothie recipe. She's like a teenager, but she does a lot of cooking. She's very talented.
Oh, okay, what smoothie you want, ma? What smoothie you want? See, I would like to suggest, what is a smoothie? We shouldn't add sugar at all. Okay, whatever fruit you are using, that fruit flavor should be there. And natural flavor, that is the combination is very important. When you combine two or three fruits also, it is fine for a smoothie. Nowadays we start taking chia seeds in our smoothie. We start taking lots of other things also in a smoothie. Okay, that is fine, but only thing is it should be very thick with more of fruit pulp, and you should drink it sip by sip. That is what important. When you are making a smoothie, if you are not getting it thick, you can just better keep your fruit in the freezer for some time and then start doing it to get a better taste. Always combine it color wise. So always when you combine allied colors, it tastes better. When you take two contrast color fruits, again, it may not it be tasty. For looking also, it will not be good. Okay, you can sweeten it if you want with little honey, or what we call it as palm sugar or palm candy, very little. In India, people take, but many smoothies, if you are able to take it with the natural taste, it is the best.
Yeah, and Reina sent a comment. She makes the chocolates with the honey instead of the sugar. She makes very good chocolates. She got an award for her, honey chocolate.
Oh, very nice. Why don't you share that recipe to me? I would love to see that. Huh?
Yeah, okay.
Mm. And I think you have lots of innovative chocolates from your side. I think I have to learn a lot from you all. You sent me two times the link, but I was not able to attend that time. I was little busy. Next time when you have a chocolate making session, just inform me little before, so that I'll keep myself free and I would like to attend that. Okay? Mm.
Sure. I think
Yes.
any other message? I think that's it. Teresa?
Yeah, I think we'll wind up. We can wind up, no?
Yes.
Anything else?
Media. So, and you want to add anything
We
else?
there are a couple of, now everyone is getting excited and wanting to talk. There's a couple of hands raised. Do we want to give them the opportunity to talk?
Yes, no problem.
Okay,
Go
one
ahead.
is a number 783652. I'm going to give you the allow to talk, ask you to unmute.
This is Nisha. Hi, everyone. My name is Nisha, otherwise known as Valli, who is Malika's classmate, cousin. Our dads are brothers, and I grew up with Akka, so I know what Akka is all about. When we were growing up, Akka was the first one who taught us how to make an omelette many years ago. And Akka, I enjoyed this session. I've been here since 7:30 Pacific time because I live in Los Angeles, but appreciate all the tips. And can I come and live with you? I want to know that. Then we will have your access all the time. So this was just a comment, no questions.
Nisha, Valli, you're always welcome, yeah. If you want, you can stay as many days you want. Or next time when I come to US, I will stay in your house for a month if you allow me to come and stay.
Awesome. That sounds great. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Nisha. Thank you, Valli.
Okay, let's see. And forgive me if I mispronounce the name. Isai, I'm gonna allow you to talk, invite you to open your mic and ask your question.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, my name is Isai. I actually admire her for a small age when I started cooking. My mom didn't taught me cooking, but I learned everything from her books. I have a bunch of books of Malika Patinath ji. So I was a great admirer of her cooking and the way of presenting everything. So I have one question to her. So what is the way of eating the herbal powders like gooseberry powder, Adi Madura powder, whatever available in the markets for boosting our health? So I want to know about how to eat that, whether we have to take the powder with the honey, mix it and eat it, or we have to boil the water and filter it and eat it, and when to eat the powders. So that's my question. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, Isai. Nice name, Isai.
Thanks, ma'am.
Thanks a lot for using my books and mentioning about that too. See, all these powders, there are two ways we generally eat. One is along with honey. When you mix it and sip by sip, I think little by little you have to eat it. So mixing with saliva and then taking it. Another one is you mix with hot water and then drink it. Again, if it has some astringent taste or bitter taste, you have to bear with it. Okay, we call it as or kashayam or whatever it is, but you have to bear with it. But once you start drinking that regularly, when you are used to that taste, our taste buds, our tongue can, differentiate all the tastes. Okay, we all know that the wonder of a human being is their tongue. Okay, all the 6 tastes, it has a different taste. Tips, you feel the sweet taste, the bitterness at the end, backside, and the salt taste at the side. There are, different places where the tongue can sense. But anyway, both the ways you can take. You can drink it in warm water. That is the best. Again, it gets absorbed. But certain things, like if you are taking it for some purpose, especially for cold or something when you are immune boosting or something like that. Honey is the best, but try to see whether it is a good honey. That's more important.
Okay. Okay. I'm using Hanukkah honey. Hanukkah or Manuka, that the brand that we get in the stores. So
Okay.
that honey, and
Where do
I
you
mix
live? Where do you live, you say?
I live in US, Indiana.
Okay, okay, Indiana. Okay, ma.
Okay, so I
I
got
don't
it,
know.
and it's near Chicago, ma'am.
Okay, 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 okay.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am, for your
Yes.
information. And it's good to take in the morning or
Yeah,
evening
it's
or
better,
night.
ma. It's better in the early morning. Early morning
Because
is
I
better,
am
always.
taking Adimadura podi with honey, so in the morning. So I was wondering whether we have to. It's okay to eat in the morning. So it's a question
It's
for me.
okay, you can eat in the morning, but you have a cough, you can have just before going to sleep, you can have with honey. And then drink little hot water after that. Even if you mix with honey and eat, drink some hot water after that. Okay?
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, one more question. I know Sujata is asking, can we keep smoothie in the fridge and use later? If you store, how long can you store?
Generally, if you keep it in refrigerator for 2 or 3 hours, it is fine. Even then, due to oxidation, certain nutrient loss will be there. But if you can't help it, you can keep it in the refrigerator with a closed container, but not little open. Some people, they put it in the tumbler and then open. They keep it open like that. But if it is in a closed container, it is little better, but not more than that. Even when you are going to take it outside, when you are going out, generally we don't prefer, but when you take it, the nutrient loss will be little less, that's all. Otherwise, it's fine. Loss of nutrients will be less.
Yes, we hear you have to make it and take it to the office and drink later. So sometimes you cannot finish in like 2 hours. That's what she's saying. Yeah.
Now you can take it. Only thing is, little nutrient will become less. That's all. There is no harm in taking. No problem. Due to oxidation, some nutrient loss will be there. No, we can't help it.
I think I don't think we missed any questions.
Grinding banana mix, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Can you grind banana in the mixie?
Generally, we love to eat it as it is. That is better. But when you want, instead of breakfast, when you want to have a smoothie, it's okay. You can use a banana along with any other thing. You can prepare even almond powder with banana and chia seeds. It makes a lovely smoothie. Okay, with the natural ingredients in it. Okay, I have tried many smoothies like that, but no harm in taking. There is nothing bad or anything like that. I don't think so. As far as it tastes good and when it has nutrients, it's fine. Nutrient dense foods, always we can, many people, those who are not able to get enough protein, vegetarians, they try to add protein powder in a smoothie. That's better. When you are getting 25 grams of protein in a scoop of protein powder, why not you have it? Okay. It will avoid lots of health issues. Nowadays, lots of people are getting health issues, especially muscle problem, because of lack of protein in their diet. Anything excess only is bad. When you are getting it in the correct amount and according to the requirement of you, when you are exercising, when you are working out, when you want muscle strength, definitely you can go in for that.
Okay. The last question, I think. Yeah, smoothie. Can you have as a fresh fruit, or do we have to take it as a smoothie?
It is not, instead of a meal, you have to take fruit, you have the smoothie. That is what I think it is better. Okay, not like a before breakfast or something like that. Smoothie means it has goodness of all that fruits along with other things what you are adding. You have to skip your meal, and if you are dieting, when you want to diet, when you for on a weight loss diet or something like that, you have to have a smoothie. Otherwise, if you want to eat the fruit alone, that is better, best way to eat. But if when you want, you are having a workout and you want to diet at the same time, you want to reduce and you have to balance on so many things, it's better to drink a smoothie. It's all up to you to decide. There is no particular rules or anything like that. Okay, but don't take it but just because it's good for health. Along with breakfast, I want to take that don't pile lots of things into you, which is not necessary. Whatever is necessary, you have to take for according to body's need and according to your age, according to your workout, or everything depends upon that one.
Okay. I just want to ask Teresa if she has anything else. Otherwise, we can finish this webinar. We are almost on time.
Sure. My only last question is when will we see you again?
Whenever you want, you can see me. What is that? You call me for anything. If you want iron-rich foods or calcium-rich foods or any other topic, I am ready to come. Okay.
Wonderful.
So somebody has asked
Thank you.
what type of milk is good for smoothie. Generally, we don't use milk for smoothie. That is what I want to tell them. It's all fruit based. No milk is added for a smoothie. Only milkshakes are used for a milkshake. Only we use milk and not for smoothies. Somebody has asked which milk is good for a smoothie. Okay.
Yeah. So, okay. Thank you all. We are almost on time. So I want to thank everyone, the Concepts family, Teresa especially, and Raghavendra for taking care of it, and Malika. Lot of information, 2 hours, it just flew away. Like Teresa said, we would like to have more and more of your knowledge, so we can learn, little bit from you. You have so much knowledge. Thanks for sharing it with us. And thank you all for patiently, like different parts of the world, they have different time zones. Somebody got to wake up early, somebody got to, stay late. So thank you all for watching it. So Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Thank you all.
And thanks a lot, Andal and Teresa, for giving me an opportunity. See, like what you said, storehouse of information or something, it is not like that. Whatever very little I know, I am sharing, that's all. I don't think that I have enough knowledge or something like that. Okay. Thank you very much, Ma.
Thank you.
Okay, Teresa, see you all. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.